The MacBook Air line is as solid as it ever was, and I'm wondering if the design isn't already getting stale. Laptops are getting lighter all the time, and these other companies are like dogs nipping at Apple's heels. Apple might want to start doing something a little bit more interesting next go around to keep the PC makers from barking up its tree. Maybe a foldable. Well, this is the latest Apple laptop yet to sport the newfangled M3 chip. It's the most powerful Air model Apple's released so far, no question about it. It's a great laptop, but it also keeps it far too safe, looking nearly identical to previous models released over the past 2 years. The MacBook Air comes with either a 13-inch or 15-inch screen. Want more monitor real estate? Then go for the bigger, more expensive Air. Either way, you can expect the same performance from either, so long as you opt for the version with more GPU cores and RAM. It still has the same flat look as the M2 MacBook Air, which was a change from the slanted case of the M1 model made back in 2020. Really, if you stick the M2 and M3 side by side, you couldn't tell the difference. There's nothing wrong with Apple's Liquid Retina display or Magic Keyboard. It's a bright screen and it types just fine. We're still amazed at Apple's fanless design allowing for such a thin laptop packing this much power, plus more than all-day battery life. If you used any Apple product made in the last 4 years, there's really not much else to say about it. Everything new about the M3 MacBook Air is happening underneath the hood. The new processor is good enough for all your basic internet streaming and productivity tasks. In benchmarks, it's certainly better than the M1 and marginally more capable than the M2. If you're looking to do any sort of graphically intense tasks, well, the M3 does the job a bit better than previous generations. For everything else, you'd have to be a real power user to notice even the slightest difference in overall capabilities. The new M3 Air can now connect to 2 external monitors at once, where previously it could only handle 1. Unfortunately, this only works in clamshell mode, with the Air's lid down. It means you'll need an external mouse and keyboard to keep it working with more screens, which is a strange choice that I hope Apple modifies in a later update. Does it look like I'm made of money? The new MacBook Air also has Wi-Fi 6E connection compared to the Wi-Fi 6 of the previous version. The new laptop promises 15 hours of browsing battery life, and in our experience, that claim holds up pretty well, so long as you don't stress the battery with even more intense tasks. Hell, you can even do some light gaming on your MacBook Air, and I managed to eke out a solid frame rate at fair resolution across a few titles that Apple's ecosystem still supports. But let's face it, you're getting the MacBook Air because it's an ultra-lightweight laptop sporting Apple's well-worn macOS ecosystem. It's a great productivity machine, but for true hardcore use, you'll want to look at the MacBook Pro with M3 Pro or M3 Max. Still, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. The base MacBook Pro with the base M3 chip is functionally the same as these new MacBook Airs. You could get the MacBook Air 15 with 16 gigs of RAM for $1,700, or the Pro with the same stats for $2,000. At this point, there's no reason to get the Pro 14 when the Air 15 weighs less and costs less. If you want to read more details about the MacBook Air M3, head over to Gizmodo.com.